right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you, wherever you are in this beautiful world. Welcome to our Inner Circle Live session, where we take a look at the Forex market to find opportunities that we can take advantage of. I'm your host, Ryan Carthage. We'll be joined shortly by my awesome partner, Mr. Benny Allen. Hope everybody is doing well today. Hope your Wednesday is off to a phenomenal start. So, without further ado, let's turn off all distractions, grab a pen and paper for notes, and let's make sure that we participate and engage. All right. So, we get a couple things set here, and we will hop into the fundamentals. We got some news coming out today that I want to make sure that we are prepared for. And I want to take a look at these yen crosses again, because the yens have made some strong moves in the direction, but we also know that the Bank of Japan has not changed its stance. So I want to take a look at the yens as well. So let's hop over to trading economics and let's see what we have happening. So let's see. Boom. And real quick, just drop me one in the chat if you can hear me okay. Maybe. Maybe not. Cool. Thank you very much. All right, let's get to it. So we got inflation data coming out today, right? U.S. inflation rate seen falling to 3.1%. The annual inflation rate in the U.S. likely slowed to 3.1% in June from 4% in May, marking the lowest reading since March of 2021. Also, core inflation is expected to decrease to 5%, the lowest since November 2021. On a monthly basis, the CPI is projected to increase by 0.3%, significantly higher than the 1% rise in May. So still some back and forth in the CPI data from a yearly perspective, from a multi-year perspective, and from a month-to-month perspective. So it'll be interesting to see how the markets respond to the data that comes out and if it comes out as expected. So we'll be watching that this morning when that data comes out. Then some interesting things transpired yesterday. The Reserve Bank of Australia, I'll be interested to see how this fully impacts the market, but the Reserve Bank of Australia will slash the number of times it meets in a year to set interest rates while making the meetings longer as part of a sweeping overhaul into how the central bank decides the country's monetary policy. Right? From 2024, the board will meet eight times a year rather than 11. Those meetings will now run over 2 days, notably longer than the current ones. The less frequent and longer meetings will provide more time for the board to examine issues in detail and to have a deeper discussion on monetary policy strategy, alternative policy options, and risks, as well as communication. The post-meeting statements will now be issued by the board, not the governor. As is currently the case, the governor will hold a press conference after each board meeting to explain the decision, and the quarterly statements will be released on February, May, August, and November. So that's an interesting change to how things are currently done. So it'll be interesting to see how that impacts things coming into next year. But also it'll be interesting to see if other central banks make similar changes. We've seen some changes like that come from the UK when they stopped doing press conferences after their rate decisions. So changes like this happen, but it'll be interesting to see how the market reads that, and ultimately what it looks like once it's actually implemented. So that'll be interesting there. Last night, New Zealand held the cash rate at 5.5, which was expected. Wednesday's decision came after the central bank raised borrowing cost by a total of 525 basis points since October 2021. The board said the level of interest rates was constraining spending and inflation pressures as required. It added that the excuse me, the official cash rate will need to stay at a restrictive level to bring inflation returns to the target of 1 to 3% by second half of 2024. The committee judged the risk around the inflation projection were broadly balanced as supply constraints continue to ease. In the meantime, employment stays above sustainable level, but recent data suggested the labor market is easing. Policymakers were aware that monetary policy in New Zealand reached a tightening level earlier than in many countries. Regarding GDP, excuse me, the board viewed the recent indicator suggesting growth was likely to remain weak in the near term, despite rebuild work in North Island. So they believe that they're at a level of sustainability, and with that level, things will start to come down to their level in a year's time. So that's where they currently stand right now, and we will see how things transpire from there. All right. Oil hovers around two-month highs. WTI crude futures rose to $75 a barrel on Wednesday, hovering the highest levels in over 2 months amid signs that Russian crude output may finally be starting to decrease. Vessel tracking data showed shipments through Russia's western port in the 4 weeks to July 9th dropped substantially. Sorry. More than 4 months after the OPEC producer was due to slash its output. The market has been fretting about the prospects of tighter supply after top exporters Saudi Arabia and Russia announced additional production cuts in August. The EIA said the global market is expected to tighten in the second half, and stockpiles are forecasted to draw through 2024. Draw means decrease. Meanwhile, industry data showed U.S. crude inventories increased by 3 million barrels last week, snapping a 3-week decline and defying expectations of a 200,000 barrel draw. So we'll continue to watch the oil situation. We could be in a situation where oil starts to push to the upside, right? Starts to push to the upside. So we'll continue to monitor that and see how things transpire from there. All right. So that's oil. Over to the calendar. Right. I'm a week behind. 1 second. There we go. We see the cash rate that occurred there. Governor Lowe spoke last night, and that's where that conversation occurred regarding the central bank's meeting schedule. And today, I didn't get a chance to look at the notes on Governor Bailey's speech this morning, but I'll check those out later on today. CPI coming in at 8:30. Then we have FOMC member Kashkari speaking at 9:45. Then we have Bank of Canada rate statement coming out at 10 o'clock. Crude oil inventories at 10:30. Then the press conference from the Bank of Canada at 11. All right, so pretty busy morning. We should see some volatility, and we'll see how things move. All right, so that is the day today. Any questions from a fundamental perspective? No. All right, cool deal. Benny, good morning, bro.
Good morning, Ryan. Good morning, everybody.
How you doing, man?
Oh man, I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
Doing well. Doing well. Um, it, anything that you saw fundamentally that caught your eye overnight?
No, not really. Just waiting on the CPI data. That's all.
For
So
sure.
that's about it. I mean, Governor Bailey, he did speak this morning, um, saying that rising rates have created stress on the financial system. But then he said that households and businesses are less likely to cut back. Saying
Oh,
that there's more resilience from borrowers and lenders. You know, what else did he say? It'll take more time for the full impact of rate hikes. I mean, so you know, it's the same old, same old. They got an
gotcha.
inflation issue. They gotta worry
Deal
about.
with
So
it.
I expect, yeah, I expect them to still, hike rates.
Yep. Yep. Cool deal. Um, the change to the Reserve Bank of Australia's meeting schedule. Do you think that'll have any impact overall on the market?
They're increasing, right?
No, they're decreasing the
Oh,
number of times that they meet.
they're decreasing in that
Yeah,
the
they're going
more
from
the number of
11
times.
to
Oh,
8, and the
no,
reports will be on a quarterly basis, not monthly.
I don't know how the market will take it. I mean, I don't know. I mean, we're moving into well, I mean, there's been I mean, you used to really didn't get a lot of transparency at all out of these central bankers, but now you do. Going from 11 to 8, I think it'll be fine.
Gotcha. Cool deal.
I think it'll be fine
Cool deal.
because your major you know economic reports are still being released in the regular schedule, and we can interpret those
Yeah.
on our own for the most part. So I think it's okay.
Gotcha. All right. Cool deal. Appreciate you, bro. um, let's dive over to the charts. We'll take a look at the dollar real quick. Then I want to take a look at the yens, and I want to take a look at these CAD crosses. So, um, dollar index daily time frame. We finally made it down to the support level at 12,765. Um, not our first time here. The data today will be interesting to see where it pushes this chart, right? Do we break this level and head to the next, or do we turn over and start pressing to the upside again, right? Back into the flow of the range. So we'll watch that there. That CPI data is definitely going to move us in one direction or the other. We see here on the 4, we're getting a bounce back above that level here. Okay, so we'll watch it to see how things move throughout the morning. All right, so that's the dollar index right now. Just watching those levels to see how things move. All right. Any questions there? Nope. All right. Sweet. So we'll start with the Aussie CAD and we'll go CADs, yens. Because I really want to look at all of these. With the yens making the moves that they did, some are coming in or sitting at key levels that I want us to pay attention to because the Bank of Japan has not changed their stance. So, um, Aussie CAD, right here on the daily time frame. Let me clear some of this out. Maybe won't let me grab it. All right. Anywho, Um, it's our capital AB boundary here, right? We got a 382 retracement on the push to the upside here, and we're turned back over, pressing to the downside, right? So Bank of Canada is expected to increase their rates by 25 basis points here, right? Increase by 25 basis points. So the press conference afterward will definitely be key to help give us insight on what the future trajectory will be coming out of the Bank of Canada. So we haven't pushed deep into the zone yet, right? And we haven't reached us that trend line, but we are turning over a bit. And we'll see if we start making our way back to the downside and back to the support at 87,417. Over to the 4, right? Oh, we've already got our deep retracement, strong move to the downside. Here's a pullback here, right? That we got, and now we're trying to press back down to the downside, continuing that trend down to the matching D extension at some point. All right, so we're trying to turn back over. We'll see what the data says and see what the press conference has to hold, and see if that completes that swing and starts making its way back down to the downside there. Okay, coming down to our 1, and this is the range that we've been sitting in. All right, this is just a sideways push here, so we'll need a break out of this range in one direction or the other. All right. With that New Zealand rate decision yesterday, right, last night, also impacted the Aussie temporarily and then came right back down. All right. So we'll watch that to see how things transpire and see what direction we break out here. Okay. Overall, biases to the downside. You got oil doing its thing, doing its dance, trying to push to the upside. So if we get that continued oil push, right, and we get a boost on the interest rate side with more of a hawkish tone, we can see this continue making its way to the downside. All right, so that's the Aussie CAD there. Any questions? No. All right, cool deal. Benny, I do like this update though, man. On the charts, I appreciate some of the changes that they made.
I know, right? Patience pays, I guess.
Right. Uh, so onto the Aussie yen. We pressed down to this key support level, right? Previous resistance, potentially holding as future support. Okay. Overall, this is our capital fib here. We got a 50% retracement. So we're long. Japan hasn't changed their stance yet, right? So at this key level, we want to watch to see if we start to get some swing lows to form at that level to give us potential to get back long here. Okay. Coming down to the 4, deep retracement, 8-6 level in line with that daily support, previous resistance. So I'm looking to see if we finally get a swing low to form here, right, at that level. If that level holds, right, then we'll look for, this needs to be down. We'll look for buying opportunities. I already dripped in one position here with my stop outside the A. So we'll see if we get price to swing here and start pushing to the upside. Okay. So that's the 4. Coming down to our 1. Here we are. Shallow retracement, 118, 127 zone. Tried to turn over yesterday, pushed back down to that support level. Okay. Let's see if we get that bounce here. All right, we'll see if we get that bounce here. Now, if we break that level, then we could continue to the downside, which is okay too. Right, got a ways to go to some deeper levels there, but right, the next daily level is until 89. Here at 90,507. Right, so decent ways to the downside if we break that level, but we got an 80-20 on the 1. And we're at a deep retracement on the 4, right, with a key level of support. So looking for reversal opportunities here. We'll see if we get it as we move throughout the day. and see how some of the data impacts this pair, potentially pushing to the upside. If stock market gets a boost, investors get a little happy on the risk on side of things. All right. So that's the Aussie yen, 80-20 on the 1, 8-6 retracement on the 4. Any questions here? No.
Nope.
I'll also hop into some of these dollar crosses as well, because we do have that CPI data. So here on the Aussie dollar, here on the daily, maybe no. Let's see. All right, let's run some new fibs here real quick. I believe it's coming from the downside, but let's see. Oh, there we go. All right, so that's our capital fib on the daily time frame. Been down, right? Been down, and we've been stuck in this range for a while here. Okay, right here in this range. So we're back up against a daily level of resistance, right? And things have gotten pretty tight, right? With a support level sitting right there. Okay. So that CPI data is going to be interesting here, right? And see if we finally break out to the upside and continue pressing long, or if we come back down to the bottom of this range, potentially breaking that support and heading to the downside. Okay. We know the dollar is sitting at a key level right now, right? This Aussie dollar is also sitting at a key level. So we'll want to watch these levels as we move. Let me come back here. Yeah, that's that level. Okay. Bring that back down. Boom. All right. So that's the level there. So on the 4, this is where we sit on the 4. Okay. This is our capital fib here. We pushed just shy of a 618 retracement on the 4. After that move, slowly made its way back up, and we pressed back down below that daily level. So this is going to be interesting to watch, right? We broke back below that level on this 4. There's that level of daily support here. Okay. So we'll see. We'll see where the data takes this, right? But that break back below that previous resistance level here on the 4, strong bearish candle here. So I wouldn't be surprised if we get something like this to occur. And we make our way back down, right? But that's going to call for CPI to come in differently than what's expected, and the dollar ultimately to get back bullish, right? So we'll watch to see what happens. Coming down to the 1. Here's the choppy move here. On that last push up, we took out the A. So we'll run our fibs to the upside like so. Boom. Okay. So this is where we sit on the 1 at a 50% retracement right now. Okay. This is where we sit here. We'll see if we get pulled back in a continuation down, or if this turns over and makes its way higher to the matching D extension. All right. That's the unknown right now. Okay. So we'll watch this at this daily level and see what transpires there. Reese on the 4. Benny, would this be considered an evening star?
Yep, I would. Yeah. You got that wick there.
Yeah.
Yep. So we got the decision back to the downside.
Okay.
So we'll see.
Yeah, we will. We will.
Yeah, you got decision, indecision, and then decision back to the downside. So we'll see what happens once that CPI report is released.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. Let's see.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah, that one's been, you know, a little bit all over the place.
it
Guys got
has
some
been.
decisions to make.
It has
So
been.
so we so we definitely need a catalyst. So we expect it to move, you know,
Yep. Yep, for
from the
sure.
data release. See how it plays out.
So let's see how it goes. Let's see how it goes. All right. So that's the Aussie dollar. Any other questions on the Aussie dollar? No.
No.
All right. Cool deal. CAD Swiss. So we looked at this one last night. It's in an interesting position. On the daily time frame, we got an 80-20. We finally broke out. So we broke down these consolidation zones and breakouts, consolidation zone, breakout, right? So now we want to see what happens between where we are in this daily support level, right? We got that rate statement today for Canada, right? So we want to see, do we push down to this 65,957 and then turn over and get back long? Or do we turn over here and start making that swing back to the upside? Right. So we shall see. We also have a potential for King's Crown pattern here. Right. If we get this right tip to form. Okay. So watching that from that perspective, and we're in this 118, 127 zone, seeing that consolidation continue to form. Coming down to the 4, right? We had the 80-20 beautiful play to the downside. Boom. Now we're sitting at a 786 retracement level, right, on this 4-hour fib, just shy of that daily support. Okay. And we got some 4-hour support levels in here as well that we're sitting at. So looking to see if the rate statement is a catalyst for this to get back long. We also know that we've had a strong Swissy, but Swiss National Bank said that they won't hesitate to intervene if they need to continue to protect the currency. So just like the Bank of Japan uses their words, right, very strategically, so does the Swiss National Bank. So we shall see if we get a catalyst to push back to the upside here, right? This daily level comes in line with the matching D extension here on the 4, but we also know this is I believe this is 382. No, that's the 236. So that 382 level is at 73.29, which is quite a bit of ways further up than this 4-hour fib. All right. So that's the 4 there. Coming down to the 1, we've also pushed into that 118, 127 zone here. Right. And we're getting that consolidation again. Consolidation, breakout, consolidation. So we'll see what transpires on the day and see if we get the catalyst to push us back to the upside. All right. We drop the cloud on, see where that is. Price is approaching the cloud, right? Starting to press sideways. The cloud is. So we'll see if over the next couple hours things change. Okay. So 80-20 on the daily and on the 1, and we got a deep retracement on the 4. So some confluence in the zone, but we also got that daily support level at 65,957 that we also want to watch to see if price pushes there first before pushing to the long side. Okay. So we'll watch that one closer to see how things move. Questions on the CAD Swiss? Nope. All right. Cool deal. Cool deal. So let's see. CAD Yen. We push down to the support level. We talked about this yesterday, seeing if this level holds, right? Previous resistance here, right? And we're pressing down. We're breaking that level on the daily time frame. Okay. Tried to close below it yesterday. We're pressing down again now. And we'll see if we stay below or if we turn over. Coming down to the 4, here's your 80-20. We pressed into that TP1 level. All right. We talked about the potential of maybe not getting there. Well, we got there, which is a beautiful thing. Right. And that's the TP1 level off the 80-20 to the downside. Okay. So now let's see. So we reached the 382. Okay. It's our first stop. So let's see if we get a swing low to form and see if this breaks back above that daily level here on the 4-hour. Okay. So watching this one closely as well to see if we get that bounce. Okay. Or to see if we just continue to fall to the next TP, that next TP level. Okay. Coming down to your 1, you're hovering around your B boundary, right? Haven't pushed into that 118, 127 zone yet, right? And you're hovering right at this daily level. Okay, you got your shallow retracement, and now we're just pressing sideways. So maybe we do get another push to the downside into that 118, 127 zone, and then get the reversal. All right, we'll see. We'll see. But that's what that looks like there at that 382, retesting that daily level there. And maybe we get an 80-20 scenario here on the 1 and get our push to the upside. So we'll watch this one from that perspective as well, and we'll drop the cloud on here also. Boom. Okay. So that's the CAD yen. That's the positioning. That's what I love to see. That push down and then reversal. So we'll watch to see how the news moves that one as well. Okay. Questions on the CAD yen? Cool deal. All right. Let's keep moving through. CAD yen. Swiss yen. This one still potentially has some room to go to the downside. Okay. We know we're at all-time high levels on the monthly, hit a D extension on the weekly. We're watching this 153.935 level as a point of interest in this retracement. All right. So here on the daily, this is where we sit, right? Just trying to push out of that 118, 127 zone off the shallow retracement. Okay. So we're moving down. It's taking its time, but it's slowly getting there. Okay. Been a decent move so far with a little bit to go, right? 255 so far. Okay. So we'll continue to watch this one as it develops. Coming here to the 4. All right. There's your 80-20 on the 4. We're back retesting this 4-hour resistance here and the B boundary on that 4-hour fib. Okay, so we'll want to watch this also because this was a previous form of resistance that also held here. Okay, so watching this closer to see if this previous level holds. Okay, or if we are able to break that level and continue pressing to the downside. Okay, so I do have my eyes on this. If we get something that that shifts this back to the upside, right? I do have an order in on this move down. If we get a swing low to form and a bullet and some bullish action, right? I'll look to take my profit on that. So, but if we break that, then we'll look to head down to at least that TP1 level. Okay, so a little bit of work still needed to break through some of these levels, but it's on the move nonetheless. So coming here to the 1, right? We've already hit TP1 on the 1 hour. Right? There's your 80-20 there. So TP2 is just below this level, right? And that'll give us 295 pips if we get there. Okay, so we got some consolidation happening now. we'll see if we get another push down and potential continuation on this one, right? Depending on how the Swiss franc moves over the next couple of days. Okay, so that one's still in motion to the downside. This is the one that I do have potential for continuing to run to the downside. So we'll continue to monitor there. Okay. Any questions on the Swiss yen? Anybody still holding this?
I'm out.
No.
No.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Good deal. Good deal. Let's see how things transpire. Euro CAD. I said I was waiting on this one to get to this daily level, and it didn't get there. So here we are on the Euro CAD, right? Just shy of that 146.746 level. Tried to press down. Now we got some indecision ahead of the rate statement. Okay. We'll see if we get this continuation to the downside to break through these levels and continue lower. Seeing as we've pushed out of this 118, 127 zone pretty strong, trying to get some retracement to happen here. So still some work to do on the Euro side to get back long here. Okay. Coming down to the 4, here's that 80-20 swing, gap back to a 50% level, and there's that price turning over. Okay. So didn't get to the 618 retracement level that I was looking for to retest that daily level that we continue to stay below, but we turned over. So now question is, do we get a continuation to the downside, right, with the Bank of Canada, or is there something that causes us to push back long? Okay, that's the question that we're asking, or that I'm asking in my head right now as I watch the data and watch the chart. Coming down to the 1, here's your 80-20 scenario here. Okay. Tried to break through the cloud here, right? And we're stalling a bit, right? We do have a bullish cloud ahead. If we're going to continue short and not push to that daily level, what I'd like to see is at least a pullback into my sweet spot here, right? At least a pullback into the 618 level. If we stay below this zone, right, and stay inside that sub fib AB boundary, then, right, I'll take a short position to the downside here, right? But I didn't pull the trigger, and I probably should have here since it was in my zone, right? But I was looking for another push to the upside, seeing as we're still bullish on the euro. But I didn't, right? I waited. So, and that's okay. So we'll see if we get a pullback here into the zone. If not, if it continues to the downside, that's cool too. Okay. Then we'll look for low prices to get back long on the euro, right? Unless something drastic changes. So that's where we are on this Euro CAD. We'll see if we get a pullback here. We may not. We may just continue to the downside and make our way to those TP levels. Okay. So that's where we are on the Euro CAD. Questions here? No?
No, sir.
No.
Benny, what are your thoughts on this?
What are your thoughts on this one, bro?
Ultimately, I'm long on the euro, so we need a low price. So I'm definitely looking forward to move down. Yeah, looking forward to move down. I need that to happen, Ryan.
This is facts.
So, so far so good out of that zone, but for me to buy that, especially coming off that one, I needed to move lower. So that what you have marked up makes sense. Yeah. And hey, it's in profit so far.
Yep. It definitely is.
That's all you can ask for.
That's it, bro. The cycle continues. So let's watch it and see what transpires throughout the morning. All right. Questions here on this I already asked that. No questions on the Euro CAD. Euro yen. This one continues to fall, right? So we got this weekly level at 151,584 that we're watching, right? We broke through this lower time frame support level here, but this is a previous resistance that we're looking to hold as support. Okay, but falling out of the zone beautifully. Okay, we still got that daily D extension there that has to be hit along with the monthly D extension. So got some levels to the upside we still need to attain, but we're just in this retracement phase, which is a beautiful thing. We get a low price to then get back long. Coming down to the 4, this is what I'm watching here. Not the blank screen. See if those fibs pop in for me. There we go. All right. So we're pushing out of that 118, 127 zone. We're coming into the trend line here. So I'm watching this one to see if we get to this weekly support level, but to see if this trend line holds and we get a push back up to tag this daily and monthly D extension before we continue this move to the downside here, right? To give us this low price that we're looking for. So we'll see. What this has been a beautiful move out of the zone, right? Beautiful move out of the zone, 418 pips so far, right? Just to the trend line. So moving in the direction that we wanted it to. Now let's see what happens here to see if we get another push to the upside and then move back down. We'll see. We could break this level, hit that weekly level, and then continue lower or reverse. So we'll watch these levels, this trend line in this 151,754 to see how that moves. All right, we'll take this down also to the lower time frames. Coming down to the 1 now. On the 1, we're through TP2, right? And sitting at a just shy of a 786 retracement on the 1, right? So we're coming into some key levels on the lower time frames that are in line with that trend line. Okay, so that also has my attention as I'm looking at this from a larger perspective here, right? So we'll see if we get this push back to the upside to get to the 1 hour D extension, this daily and monthly D extensions as well, and then see what transpires out of this. Okay, so watching this trend line here to see what happens. So those are my thoughts so far on this euro yen. Been a beautiful play to the downside. Questions here?
My goodness,
man, listen.
I love it.
I love it, man. It's a beautiful game when you have rules that you follow, but you also understand how the sequence works. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. So, no questions here on the euro yen. Cool deal. Our wonderful friend, the pound CAD. We're retracing right now. Crown pattern here, right? Weren't able to break above that 171,494. Okay, so we'll see if we get a pullback and then a continuation, right? We had a strong break of this level at 169,236. Strong bullish break, right? So let's see if we get a retracement and continuation, right? Because things haven't changed with the the pound either, right? So let's see if we get something like that. Okay. See if we get a pullback and a continuation there. So coming down to the 4. This is where we are on the 4, right? We got a nice deep retracement here, 786 level. Matching the extension is just above this weekly, right? So in order to finish this fib sequence, this ABCD wave, we got to push above that level at some point, right? So watching the retracement here to then see if we get a continuation long. Okay, strong bullish breakout here, pull back, continuation. Okay, so that's what the look is on the 4 coming down to our 1. This is where we are here. All right, previous resistance level here we're coming into at this 50% retracement level. Okay, let's see if we get down deeper into the zone. All right, maybe even retest this daily level. Right, let's see if we get a deeper push and give us another low price to get back long. Right, to finish the sequence out on the daily time frame. Okay, so that's what I'm watching here, is seeing if we get a continued deeper push to then get back to the upside. Okay, so crown pattern playing out beautifully. Appreciate you, Jeremy. Now let's see if we get this this low price to be able to add to that trade. Questions on this pound CAD?
No questions.
No.
No.
All right. Sweet.
Very good stuff, by the way. Very good stuff.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it, Tyrone. All right. So they're moving. They're moving just as we like them to. So I didn't take a look at this euro dollar. Bounce back real quick. So this one, right? We're sitting at key levels on all of these pairs, right? This euro dollar, this 110.312. Got some work to do to break above these levels, so that CPI data is going to be key again. If we come back to the weekly, we're still in this 80-20 zone, right? So it's going to be interesting to see how this battle plays out, right? If we are able to break these weekly levels, this is a previous weekly resistance level that was broken, right? We're coming back to it. That's why I left it in there, but it'll be interesting to see if we're able to break these levels to the upside to get to the D extension, or if the dollar picks up that strength and turns over and presses this back down, right? This battle is one that's very interesting because we're still making our way to the upside, right? We know the euro is still strong overall, right? From a larger perspective, coming off the highs, this is the capital fib here, right? So been in this retracement phase. We're coming into this key zone that we've been playing at for a while. So we want to see if we continue pushing to the upside to take back some of this larger move down, or if we do finally start to turn over and if the dollar picks up some more strength. That's a touchy one to see, and we'll see what happens there. Okay. So coming to the 4 now, right? That fib is similar to the daily. Right? Been long, struggling at this level though. So we'll see what happens to see if we see what the market decides to do there. Coming down to the 1, right? We had a beautiful ABCD wave here, just shy of a 61.8 retracement daily level. Been pushing long. The D extension is here, just inside of this 109 level. Okay. I'm sorry, 110.982. Sorry. So this level is key for us, right? If we break that, we'll be able to get there and then retest that 110.985. So that's what I'm watching to see what happens here. If this is another pullback, just to press to the upside, just like we did here, just like we did here. See if we do it again. Pullback, continuation long. Right? And make that smaller wave to the upside and get to that D extension. We'll see. We'll see. That's the sub fib there. We'll see what happens. Okay. Questions on the euro dollar?
No.
Sweet. All right. Take a look at the beast. Still retracing, right? Still retracing. So coming into, right, we got a support level here, 179.898. Okay. Support level here we're coming into. That fib hasn't popped in yet, but that's our new AB boundary. So does this level hold? All right, Benny broke this down beautifully last night. Does this level hold, and do we push into this 118 and 127 zone in line with this monthly resistance at 188.815? That's the question, right? Or do we press deeper and get to the weekly level at 175? We'll see, right? We'll see. But, right, we're retracing now. We'll see what happens at this level and see if we get that push back to the upside. Coming down to your 4, just shy of a 118 zone, and we turned over, right? So this support level there. Okay. So if we break that, then we'll watch 175, right? But if this level holds, I'm looking for price to push to the upside here and get back long. Okay. So that's what those are the levels that I have my eyes on as we move through the rest of the week. Coming down to the 1, here's your 80-20 play. We're pushing into TP2. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. I didn't trade this one, right? But ultimately, I'm looking for a low price to get back long. So this daily level comes in line with the 618 on the 1 hour, right? So if this level holds, this pushed into the sweet spot on the 1 hour, could make sense for price to get back long here, right? So we'll watch that to see how things move. But that's been a crazy move to the downside. Almost 400 pips. So on these yen crosses, man, we're well over 1,000 pips on these yen crosses over the past week and a half, right? So hopefully you guys were able to catch some pips on these moves. And now we wait to see opportunities to turn over. But they're coming into key levels now, so I want to watch them closely for those reversals as they come. Okay. So that's the pound yen, pound dollar. Still pressing long, right? We got a daily level here at 130, 900, right? But we're long. We're long on the pound. Do have previous support here, right? And this is a zone right here, right? Previous support that we're pressing into now broke out of that consolidation here, right? And we made our way back to retest it. So it's a question of, do we continue pressing long into that daily level, or does this retest hold and do we get back short, right? We've also pressed into the 618 retracement level off of the capital daily fib, which is there. Let's see if these pop in. All right, that last one didn't give it, but that's our active capital fib here. Okay, so 618 retracement on the capital fib, got a daily resistance level here, got a previous breakout zone here that we're retesting now. Okay, so let's see what happens. See what happens. Let's see if we get a push to the downside. Coming down to the 4, already starting that retracement a little bit, right? That waiting on this 4-hour candle to close, and then we'll have a swing high there, and our new fib on the 4 will be active. Okay, we hit the D extension there. There's our capital fib there. Boom. All right. So this level 126,785 in line with the 236 retracement, right? So maybe we get a pullback here and then push back to the upside. Again, right? We'll watch to see what the data says. Okay, but we're starting to pull back now. So we get down to the 1 hour. There's our 1 hour fib. We're pulling back. Okay, so it's maybe an opportunity for a low price, retest some of these previous resistance levels, right? And then potentially get back long. to that daily level at 139.00. So we'll watch to see how the data comes out to see if we get a low price, if things settle in this zone, 618 or deeper. Then we'll look to see if we have an opportunity to get back to the upside. Okay. That's the pound dollar. That's an interesting one that we'll continue to monitor here. Okay. Questions on any of those? I didn't get to the New Zealand's.
Nope.
So went through a lot. Seemed relatively quick, but do you guys have any pairs you got your eyes on that you want me to take a look at in the last few minutes?
Did you do Euro Aussie or?
I did. I can take a look at it.
Okay.
That's getting back long. So the Euro Aussie. This one's super interesting, but weekly time frame here, right? 80-20 scenario pressing back to the upside, right? From a weekly time frame perspective. Morningstar pattern, and we're still pressing long. Okay. We got resistance level here at 168.272 that we could be pressing to. Okay. Coming down to the daily 382 push. Here's your crown pattern here. Created that right tip. Now we got to break these daily levels to get back to the upside. Right. So we got some work to do still. But trying to get there. So once we break that level, then we could see some motion continuing long here. On your 4, right? See it in a little bit more detail. Boom. We missed the 382 here, but that daily level held us up, and now we're pressing. Okay. So making those waves to the upside. Got a Morningstar pattern here on that pullback. See if we get that catalyst to break that level. And this is more data there. All right. On that 1, we got a 8-6 retracement. Matching the extension is above. This was a strong pullback yesterday. Right. And then we got the flip with the news. So now we're getting a nice weaker pullback here. And we'll see if that then turns into another bullish push. So looking long overall, nice bounce off this lower time frame support level, right? Looking for this to continue to the upside. Just got to break that daily level first. Cool. Questions there? You see anything specific on this, Joy? Looking at anything in particular?
No, I'm still holding my long position, but I wanted to see your chart where if you still had the if this was the one with the crown pattern on it.
Yeah. Still trying to make its way. Yep. All right, cool deal. Quick look at gold, and then we'll wrap it up there. Haven't looked at that. Bitcoin in a minute. We'll look at that one later. Gold did what we thought it would do. Let's see what's happening here. There we go. All right. Obviously, you guys know I don't trade gold a ton, but we got the push to the downside. We got the trend line breaks. Let's see. Pull these out. Come back to the daily. Boom. Trend line's broken. Goes out. So on the daily, we're in the sweet spot. Had a previous support level here. Broke through to the downside, just been ranging, trying to break back above. right? So now we got support here. Remove that previous level. We got support here. So let's see if we can get back long here. Yeah, that's our daily fib there, right? 618 retracement level held. We're trying to push back long, trying to break out of this consolidation here. All right, there's our range. So if we can break out of this range to the upside, maybe we get back long. Resistance level at 19,840, right? But maybe we get back long there. But got some work to do there. Coming to the 4.
Hey, Ryan, when you get a chance, can you put the cloud back on the daily?
On the daily, yeah, I will. Track these fibs to the upside here. And then they come back down. All right. Boom. So there we are. All right. Mixed here, right? We got a 618 retracement, not able to break out to the downside. So we'll see what direction we break out of this consolidation on, right? Do we break out to the upside, continue long, or do we come back down, break down, get to the D extension, and then potentially reverse, right? So that's something for us to watch there, is what happens in this consolidation. Okay, what happens there? To the daily, Trey wants to see the cloud. There you go on the daily. Broke down below the cloud, pulling back now. Bearish cloud ahead. Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see. Maybe we get a deeper retracement to retest the cloud on that daily level and then press down.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at. When you go to the 4-hour and you do the fib the opposite way, if we get it to go back to the 618 to make that double.
Like that.
But it hit it. It looks like it hit it. The D.
Not quite. Looks like
Not
it
quite,
came
yeah.
just short. It was in that range, but just a little bit short. 148.88. Yeah, just a bit short.
So my question, like for me, it didn't hit it, right? But this will form a swing high once this candle 4-hour candle close. So that's what I was like, I don't know if we're gonna get the pullback for the continuation.
Yeah, maybe, right? It'll be interesting to see, because you broke your cloud here, pushing to the upside, bullish ahead. So, and that's the thing about this range. So you could come back down to the bottom of this range, right? And retest these lower levels here, and maybe even push all the way back down. You got a 4-hour level of support right here, right? So maybe you do get a pullback and then a continuation long. That'll be interesting to see, right? I would be looking at this as just as a range, right? And looking for a breakout and a retest is how I would look at this. So do we come down, right? And then play the bottom of the range to the top of the range? Do we get a push back up, right? Hit that D extension, but also retest like this and give an opportunity to get long, right? Or break out to the downside.
Yeah, there's a gap like right in that area on the left. There's a candle, that bearish candle.
It looked like it's an
1940.
evening star on that 4-hour though.
It looks like what?
An evening star on the 4-hour.
Where you at?
Highs looking on, I'm looking at my MT4. So I'm looking at 2 at the bottom, and then that small why my candles look different from y'all?
Yeah.
See, this is why I be messed up. I'm gonna
What's up,
send y'all
bro?
this picture too because it look like it's like a morning star, and my stochastic is in the overbought zone, curving down. So
Okay.
I guess that's the other reason why I assumed that it was that pattern. But I got a 5 pattern on my 4.
Okay. But also too, right? So you got your daily, right? You got your cloud break to the downside on the 4. You got your cloud break to the upside, right? So that kind of gives you the indication that we're in a range, right? You got a 618 retracement, but you weren't able to break out to the downside to get to the D extension. We're pressing back long, right? So you got time frames that are mixed, which gives you got more indication that we're in a range pattern, right? So that's why I would look at it in one of these scenarios, and just allow price to break out in one direction or the other, right? So as you come down to the 1, you got a 618 retracement off the fibs coming to the downside, right? You're above the cloud, so it's still mixed, right? You're hovering at a sub fib B boundary, 618 retracement zone. So I'm looking for a breakout in one direction or the other on this one. All right, that's what I would need in order to play it. Yeah. We'll see. It'll be interesting, right? In 1 hour, you're pushing into a sweet spot, but on your 4, you're mixed. Things kind of stay down because you got a 618 retracement on the 4 also, or 50% retracement. But we'll see. We'll need that to turn over and give you another catalyst to the downside if it's going to press down, right? So you can also, you got your cloud here on the 1. If you get that twist and push down, right, that could be a catalyst for you to on that move back to the downside. If it stays above, right, look for it to continue riding long. But if it breaks below, then you look for a break here, and then you can track it on the 4 as well to see if you get a break there. All right, so we'll see. This one will be interesting. All right, this one will be interesting to see what direction we push. All right, and some of the data come out today could also give us a catalyst as well.
Okay, thank you.
Cool, you're welcome. That's an interesting one. We'll watch it. Keep me updated on what you
When in doubt, stay out.
When in doubt, stay out. My man, that's exactly the truth. Exactly the truth. If it's not clean, not clear, just watch it. Something else will come around. So, Benny, anything before we wrap it up, bro?
No, sir. Great session. We got through a lot. Let's see what happens with the data today.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's see, good people. Have an awesome day. Be patient. Watch. Look for your confirmations. And make today great. All right. We'll talk to you later. 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with my awesome partner, Mr. Benny Allen. Peace.
Thank you.
You're welcome.